When a hurricane hits, do you have a kit? Get prepared for National Preparedness Month. Hey guys, welcome back to At the Table. Today we are joined by one of my colleagues, Meghan Lassiter. She is the FCS agent in Brunswick County, and she actually used to do some SNAP Ed programs here in Sampson as well as in Duplin. So you may have seen her around the county doing stuff, but now she is doing exactly what I do, so we still get to work together, just in a little bit of a different capacity. So thank you so much for coming on the show today, Meghan.
Thank you so much for having me. It's fun to be back in some of my former counties and work alongside of you.
Yeah. So we're going to talk today all about hurricane preparedness, what to do when the power goes out, which really this stuff could be great for if you have an ice storm, a thunderstorm that knocks your power out, somebody hits the pole and you're without power, whatever the case may be. But it's still hurricane season. It's National Hurricane Month, right?
Yes,
September.
National Preparedness Month.
So we want to make sure that we are prepared just in case we do get a storm our way. So we have two different recipes, and we'll talk a little bit about where these recipes came from and more from Meghan in just a bit. But we'll go ahead and get started on these recipes, and then we will kind of pop back and forth. So what we have first is our 7-can chicken tortilla soup. And this is super simple. So the only thing that you will need if you are experiencing a power outage is possibly a propane type burner. So if you are using something like that, you want to make sure that you are not using it indoors, you're using it outdoors, just because of that propane gas. But this is a really easy one. You don't necessarily need power. All the ingredients are things that are canned, that are shelf stable. So you just throw it into your pot and cook it. So we have some black beans and pinto beans. You could use any beans that you'd like. These are just the two that we picked, and you want a can each. So 2 cans of beans. I'll turn this on because I did not yet. And then we also have a can of corn and a can of diced tomatoes. And these, you want to make sure that your beans are rinsed really well as your corn and your tomatoes. So those will be drained and rinsed. And then we also have 1 can of chicken broth. So preferably using that low sodium option if you have it, but if you don't, that's okay. And then we are using canned chicken. So if you are ever experiencing a power outage or you know a storm is headed your way, canned chicken, canned tuna, those are things that are really great to have on hand because you can eat them as they are. You don't have to use power to heat them up. Just be mindful, you're gonna have a little bit more sodium with those options than you do if it was fresh. And then we are using coconut milk. You wanna buy the unsweetened option if you can. You can also do like a powdered milk or a different type of canned milk or carton containered milk. This is just what we like. We both like coconut milk, right? Pretty
Yes.
good. So I'll just add that in. You do want to make sure that you shake up that can before you use it. And then the last thing is just some taco seasoning. So super easy. You could do a packet of that taco seasoning. This is our homemade blend that we have that is from our Med Instead of Meds site. So usually I make a big batch of this and it just stays in my little container. So 3 tablespoons of that. And then we're just gonna stir it up. And you want it to kind of come to heat basically through. Everything in this is ready to eat. So you don't necessarily need it to reach a particular temperature because it is all ready to eat canned items. But you want it to be, of course, heated through so that it tastes good. And then there are some optional toppings, which I'll show you guys in a little bit, that you could have. However, some of those are going to be things that require refrigeration. And as well as when this is done, if your refrigerator is not working, you want to consume it within 4 hours. So just make sure that, we don't want to be opening and closing their fridge anyways, but if your fridge could possibly go out and your power's not going to be on for a while, then you want to make sure that you're just eating this up. So might be good for lunch, and then you can have it again for dinner later on. So we're going to let this get heated through, and then we will actually join Meghan next to me over here for the chickpea salad in just 1 second.
Introducing the Star Communications app. All the tools you need in one convenient location. You can access Watch TV everywhere, check local channel lineup, check your Star email, view and pay your Star bill, report troubles, use your Star security app, check your home voicemail, sign up for crowd fiber, check your Wi-Fi speed. The list keeps going and going. Download for free from the App Store or Google Play.
Welcome back, everyone. While Sydney's soup is simmering, wow, that was a lot of alliteration, we're going to move on to a chickpea salad. So this is another recipe that you can make from your pantry staples or from vegetables that will last a few days on your kitchen counter. So we'll start off with, of course, some chickpeas. Now I have drained and rinsed these to reduce the sodium content. If you didn't have chickpeas, you could also use a white cannellini bean. Next is going to be a bell pepper, any color you have on hand. I normally start off cutting this one by going around the top and using a paring knife to cut around, moving the stem out of the way, and then slicing off the bottom. And I push the top through to help get rid of a lot of the seeds. So it kind of already pushes those out of the way and eliminates those from getting into your salad. And next I'll just dice this up here, kind of cut it into more manageable pieces. And slice it up, making sure I keep my fingers out of the way. And I can just add these directly into our bowl. Now the next steps that go into the salad is going to be a red onion and also some cucumber, which Sydney is dicing up for us. If you had tomatoes or you had avocados on hand, these would be some other great additions into the salad. Really any fresh vegetable. And this is another one that if you eat within 4 hours, you don't need to refrigerate, but after that you would need to refrigerate the salad. So we'll finish slicing up our pepper here. You're going to use the whole pepper so you don't have any waste. Now this recipe we got as an idea from some of our Extension Master Food Volunteers. If you've never heard of the Extension Master Food Volunteer Program, it is a group of volunteers that become trained to assist an FCS agent or another person that works with food with their different programs and different just educational events.
And this was an idea from your Extension Master Food Volunteers? Or was that for, as far as our Hurricane Preparedness Kit?
So the whole Hurricane Preparedness Kit was actually from our Extension Master Food Volunteers. They originally got the idea because They realized that a lot of people, when a hurricane comes around, they're actually usually eating chips or just having snacks for multiple days and not any real meals. So we wanted to find a way to prepare for a hurricane, also keeping our nutritional health in mind. So some other things they did were also think about, after a hurricane, sometimes you have floods, the roads are blocked. If you can't get to a grocery store, having a food kit or some extra items on hand is another way you can be prepared and not have to worry about running out of food or having to travel out afterwards. So for the recipe, we're only going to use half an onion. Now, Sydney, I know you were interested in maybe having some Extension Master Food volunteers yourself.
Yeah, so I think, Meghan, you're working on that this October. You're training some new volunteers, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm hoping to do something similar. We both just went through the Extension Master Food volunteer training. I think it was all of 2020. We did a virtual training, and I'm hoping to bring that to Sampson County and possibly even Duplin County. So volunteers are a great way that we can start to reach more audiences. One great thing about the Extension Master Food Volunteer Program is that we could train volunteers to either, really it could be with anything. Even if you don't enjoy teaching, there are other tasks that of course you could help with here at our Extension office. But in terms of teaching, there's a lot of schools here in Sampson County as well as Duplin County. And it's really difficult for me to be able to reach all of them. So one thing that I would love is to have some volunteers who can go out and teach some of our elementary aged kids some of our curriculum. So I'm looking at possibly October is when we will begin that training. So if you're interested in volunteering with me, even if you don't really enjoy teaching, but maybe you love doing prep work, or you like a mindless task of where you're just kind of organizing some of our sign-up sheets or things like that, I can use you. So let me know if you're interested and stay tuned. I'll definitely be sharing some of that information that will be on Channel 16 in the future as well. So I'm gonna add this cucumber, and Megan's got her stuff all added. We'll see you guys back in just a second to finish up our chickpea salad. Hey guys, today we're at the Sampson County Extension talking all about Ag Day. So Eileen, tell us a little bit about what is Ag Day? What are we gonna have?
Ag Day is a great event that we have every other year, and we'll be having it this year on October 30th at the Agri Expo Center in downtown Clinton. We hope that you'll come join us for Ag Day. We have lots of fun-filled activities for you, things like cow milking, learning how to paint a barn quilt, a drone demonstration, and pony rides, all kinds of fun activities and things to see. You'll be able to stand right beside a full-size combine or tractor. Think about all the things you see as you travel through Sampson County and agriculture that's growing around you and being harvested. Those are some of the things that you'll see.
I can't wait. We also are gonna have live music, food trucks. We've got a comedian and a magician. So it will definitely be fun for the whole family. Free admission.
That's right. Admission is free.
And what are our
Some
hours?
of the food is going to be free. We're going to have free ice cream. But like Sydney said, lots of food trucks, lots of variety of food for you to choose from.
So check us out October 30th. We can't wait to see you guys there.
Experiencing slow internet? If you have a fast internet package, the problem is most likely your wireless router. With more devices using Wi-Fi, your wireless router may not be able to deliver the speed and coverage you need. We now have the leading solution to enhance your internet experience. Using small devices in a mesh network, these Wi-Fi appliances cover just about any size home so that all your devices can operate to their fullest potential. Whole home Wi-Fi from Star Communications. Get the most out of your internet connection.
Hey guys, welcome back. So we have our soup pretty much done. We're gonna wrap up the rest of our chickpea salad. So are you doing a dressing next for that?
Yes, the next step is going to be our dressing for the salad. So we added some black olives from a can, and we also added the cucumbers Sydney diced up You could, like I mentioned before, add a ton of different produce into here. So tomatoes, avocados, anything to kind of customize it and make it your own. And if you had canned chicken or tuna, those would be really great additions as well. So for our dressing, we're going to use some white vinegar. You could also use apple cider vinegar, balsamic vinegar, and some white wine or rice wine vinegar. So we're going to use an equal part of acid and oil. So we're going to use some olive oil. And then we'll also add a little bit of lemon juice. And then just a few spices to make a really simple dressing. If you had fresh lemon, it wouldn't need to be refrigerated. So you could also use any of these items from your pantry and not need refrigeration for it. So our final step is going to be some parsley.
And this is a really great base for any dressing that you want to do. So Megan mentioned equal parts acid and oil. So you can do that with, like she said, different types of vinegars. By adding the lemon juice, it's going to be more of a lemon vinaigrette, but you could do a lime vinaigrette if you wanted to, or orange. Any citrus would be really good as well. So lots of varieties, and if you're looking to make your own dressings, use kind of that oil to acid ratio plus your seasonings.
And then our final steps here are just going to be to drizzle our dressing over top. We can add in some feta cheese or blue cheese, or you could leave the cheese out completely. So just sprinkle that. Yum. And then stir it all together.
I love how bright that salad is. It's just so pretty. It looks so refreshing. And we think about when the power does go out, or you're experiencing a storm or anything like that, and just really craving some fresh foods. I don't know if y'all have ever experienced that for multiple days at a time, but you get to a point where you're just like, I want something warm, cold, fresh, doesn't matter. I just want it to be fresh tasting. And this is a really great one for that.
This has just turned into one of our favorite quick weeknight meals that we just already have on hand and can throw together as well. And we'll make a huge bowl and eat it throughout the week.
Yum. Yeah, and I love that you said adding the tuna to it, or you could even do the canned chicken to give it a little bit more protein, but you've got protein in the beans as well. So it's a really good mixture of your fats, your vegetables, your healthy carbs, and then getting that protein in. So really all around good recipe to do. So our soup that we're gonna finish with, I'm gonna show you guys some of the toppings you could add. So it is all heated through. I didn't even get it to boiling, so really it doesn't have to be super hot or take a very long time. We're just gonna add as much as you'd like in your little bowl here. And then if you like a little bit of heat, you could add some Texas Pete to it, or any hot sauce. I like a little heat. We'll just add a little bit of that. You could also add that to your whole pot and mix it all together, or like this, if you have some who like heat, some who don't, you can customize it a little bit. And then we have some cheese. So again, if your power's out, you might not have some of these refrigerated items, so keep that in mind. But aiming for that lower fat cheese is a good option. This is just cheddar cheese. That's what we had on hand. You can do really whatever you have. Mozzarella, the Mexican blend is always really good. And then we have sour cream.
Which Greek yogurt could be a substitution for sour cream if you had that on hand as well. I know it gives it kind of a creamier taste and just a little lighter option.
Yeah. I tend to use Greek yogurt more often at my house just because I can use it in so many different things. Versus sour cream, I feel like you're a little bit more limited on what you can use it with. And then we have some cilantro here. Maybe if you have a herb garden, you could pull some of this stuff. It just looks pretty also. And then last thing is some tortilla shells if you wanna, tortilla shells or tortilla chips if you wanted to add those. So you could sprinkle those on top for a little bit of a crunch. And that is your taco your 7-can chicken tortilla soup. So really yummy, really easy, and great to have on hand if you don't really have a lot of things in the fridge or your power is out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we actually have a really cool hurricane preparedness kit that Meghan has. So we'll show you guys all about that and talk about that in just 1 second.
After completing my contract, I still have to buy out of it? Come on. Here's your sign.
Switch to the sign that's keeping home secure and customers happy all over the area. Security from Star Communications. We pride ourselves on fair pricing and quick, friendly service every time.
Somebody try to break into this place?
Security from Star Communications.
All right, welcome back. So we have the last couple things that we wanted to talk to you about today, which is this really awesome project that Meghan, her Master of Food volunteers, and then I think you had an intern or a couple interns from UNCW helping with this project, right?
Yes.
So this is a hurricane preparedness kit that her team has put together, and we're gonna dive all into what's in it. So tell us a little bit more about the kit and all of that.
Sure, yeah. So we really just designed the kit to be kind of a stress-free preparedness tool. So you could start preparing this before hurricane season and buy little things here and there. So it's not a huge overwhelming cost, maybe the week before. If a storm is coming, a lot of things tend to be out of stock anyways. So we've just got a cheaper plastic tote here. You wouldn't have to use a plastic tote, but this was gonna be easy storage. You could put in the back of a closet or somewhere that you won't also sneak into and eat before and have nothing left by the time the storm gets here. So we had a lid on top, and on our lid we've also gone ahead and written out everything that was in the kit. So we've kind of created a list, and you could use it from year to year, so you don't always have to worry about what's going to be in your kit, and you can kind of create a meal plan. So some of our first non-food items are going to be things like takeout silverware, so forks, knives, napkins could be useful, so you don't have to worry about cleanup. Same thing with the paper plates. You could probably throw some trash bags in there too. I know we've got a refrigerator thermometer, if you want to mention what that would be used for.
So this is this one I think can also be used in the freezer. I think this one's strictly refrigerator, but there's different types of thermometers that you can buy. You can see that I have both of these here. But these are really great for making sure that your fridge is to the proper temperature, and also checking once the power has recovered, seeing what your fridge is at. Because if it has gotten into what we call the danger zone, then which the danger zone is, do you remember the exact numbers?
Yes.
I always forget those.
So I believe your freezer is supposed to stay at 0 degrees or at 30 to 0. So it all stays frozen. And then your refrigerator is 41 degrees. So we don't want it to go over 41 degrees for more than 4 hours, or your food could be unsafe.
Yes, so checking that, it's really, you don't want to be checking that periodically throughout the storm if the power's out, because you're letting that air out. So you want to keep that stuff closed for as long as possible. Try to avoid even opening your fridge or your freezer. But once the power has recovered, checking to see what your temperature is at and taking into consideration how long it has been since the power has been out. And also, if in the freezer, if things still have those ice crystals on them, then that is a good indicator that it's probably okay. But if it has fully thawed out and there's no ice crystals left, probably want to discard some of that stuff. There are certain things that we definitely want to discard. And we have tons of really helpful handouts for you as well. So if you're ever curious about what can I keep, what can I not, we have these linked on our website, and you can look at this anywhere. So Cooperative Extension's website, and look at all the things that we recommend throwing away versus recommend probably would be okay.
And we've gotten a lot of questions from community members about the coin in the cup method. I'm sure we've all heard of it before, but it's not necessarily a safe and effective way to determine. So really using a food thermometer or a refrigerator thermometer are going to be the best options.
Yeah, so if you aren't sure with that 4-hour time frame, you could definitely use that refrigerator thermometer and check the temperature of those items to see where they are. If they're probably only like 43 degrees, but it's been 8 hours, then you probably might be okay, because I doubt it dropped that low that quickly, and it's been a total of 4 hours. So anyway, definitely utilizing these tools to double check to see if things are safe.
And a few other non-food items, a can opener, which you could also look for pop top lids, and also some kind of heat source. A few other things worth mentioning are definitely going to be water. You want to have enough water for at least 7 days on hand for you or your family. Single serve juices. So we've got 100% juice, which is going to eliminate a lot of that added sugar. And with the single serve, you just drink it once. You don't have to worry about refrigerating it or chilling it later. Packaged tuna instead of cans are always a good option. Trying to see here, some powdered milk, so a good option instead of the big bulky containers would be powdered milk. Any other items you think are worth mentioning from our kit?
I feel like you have a lot of really great stuff, and I love that she has this tool to kind of see what is in your kit. This is that list she was talking about, so you can use this. And then she also has this really cool kind of meal planner for what items are in the kit that you could make these different meals. So I love how this is all included with the kit, so that you have everything all together. You're already dealing with stress. You're already trying to make sure that your home's safe. Or if you have a farm, make sure that your farm is taken care of, or whatever the case may be. So this kind of alleviates some of that stress, and also alleviates the grocery store stress, because we know how that is around the time of a storm. So I'll just read off a few of these different meal plan options that she has on here. Cereal with fruit, baked granola with sliced pears, greens-based salad. We also have PB&J sandwiches, grains and beans, that 7-can chicken tortilla soup, which we made today, a chunky gazpacho soup, and then salmon tacos are all different options that you could make, a lot of them coming from your kit. So really awesome. We also have some other handouts for you as well, meal prep and food safety after power failure, and we have a preparing for a hurricane flyer. So if you're ever needing any advice, check out some of our handouts. Thank you so much, Meghan, for bringing this today, for joining me. I have Meghan for 2 more shows after this. So we look forward to seeing you guys back next time, and y'all have a great day.